Good day, everyone. We are the Group 1 and we are here to discuss the biological female. Reproductive cell. Gametes are an organism's reproductive cells. They are also referred to as sex cells. Female gametes are called ova or egg cells, and male gametes are called sperm. Egg cells will have 22 autosomes and 1 X chromosomes. Sperm cells will have 22 autosomes and either 1 X or 1 Y chromosomes. During the fertilization, egg and sperm cells fuse, producing a cell with 46 chromosomes. If the sperm that fertilizes the egg has an X chromosome, the embryo will be XX or female. And if the sperm that fertilizes the egg has an Y chromosome, the embryo will be XY or male. Next, please.
Let's now proceed to the second topic, which is the reproductive system. The first one is the ovary. Ovaries are small, oval-shaped glands that are located on either side of the uterus. The ovaries produce eggs and hormones. The next one is the fallopian tubes. These are the female structures that transports the ova from the ovary to the uterus each month. And then the next one is the uterus. It is the female reproductive organ that receives the fertilized egg and support its development during pregnancy. And then the last one is the cervix. Cervix is an incredible part of the female anatomy. It keeps bacteria out of your uterus, produces discharge to clean your vagina, and changes its positioning to help facilitate or protect a pregnancy.
The next one is bladder. Bladder main function is to store urine, and the second one is rectum. Rectum main function is to act as temporary site for feces, or which we all know as poop. The third one is urethra. Its main function is to allow urine to pass the outside body. And the last one is clitoris. It has no function in reproduction, but it is the main pleasure for women during intercourse.
Next is the labia minora, which are pair of thin cutaneous folds that form part of the vulva or external female genitalia. They function as protective structures that surround the clitoris, urinary orifice, and vaginal orifice. Next one is the labia majora, which are relatively large, fleshy folds of tissues that enclose and protect the other external genital organs. They are comparable to the scrotum in the males, and labia majora contains wet and sebaceous glands, which produce lubricating secretions. Next one is the vagina, which is the muscular canal lined with nerves and mucous membranes. It connects the uterus and cervix to the outside of the body, allowing for menstruation, intercourse, and childbirth. And the last one is the hymen, which is the thin membrane that surrounds the opening to the vagina, and true hymens can arrange in shape and size. Most are shaped like a half moon. This shape allows menstrual blood to leave the vagina.
Hormones produced by gonads and secreted into the bloodstream. Ovaries produce estrogen and progesterone. These two hormones produce inside the ovaries second follicle cells called theca cells and granulosa cells. When the LH or luteinizing hormone stimulate the theca cell to increase absorption of cholesterol from the blood, it produces progesterone. And this progesterone will be acted upon the enzyme to make androgen. And this androgen will be transferred into the granulosa cells, and there the enzyme aromatase will convert androgen to estrogen, and the newly produced estrogen by the granulosa cells has positive feedback on the hypothalamus, which is the responsible in the release of hormones from pituitary gland.
Next is the bone. Women have less bone mass than men, but their pelvic structure is wider, which is necessary when giving birth. Male bones are bigger and stronger in both size and density. Peak male bone mass is around 50% more than women, and women lose bone faster as we age. The most important difference between the male and female skeleton is found at the level of the pelvis. The female pelvis is adapted for gestation. It is not as high as is proportionately wider than that of the male.
In female muscles, females have less total masses than males. Women have around 30 to 35% muscles by weight, while men have 40 to 50% muscles. This varies a lot by age, health, fitness, body type, and genetics. Women can't match the bulk or strength of men's skeletal muscles unless they artificially raise their androgens, which is the male sex hormones, by a significant amount, which would be dangerous.
Let's talk about fat and flexibility. Number 1, women carry about 10 percent points more body fat than do men. Number 2, men accumulate fat primarily in the back, chest, and abdomen. Women gain fat in the buttocks, arm, and thighs. Lastly, women generally are more flexible than men.
Lastly is females' hair and skin. Women's skin is softer and plumper to feel because, unlike men, female metabolism tends to convert more food to fat, which becomes a subcutaneous fat in the bottom layer of their skin. Also, women's dermis is thin while their hypodermis is thinner, which makes their skin 60% thinner than men. Female skin is affected later in life, especially after the menopause. As for the hair, men and women's hair are not different from each other in terms of structure. Women's hair are slower to grow compared to male, but research says that women's hair can be sped up by pregnancy. All women have facial and body hair, but the hair is usually very fine and light in color. The main difference between typical hair on a woman's body and face, often called peach fuzzy and caused by hirsutism, is the texture. That's all. Thank you.